So I went to the movie theaters to check out arguably this year's most anticipated movie, The Batman. And while I was watching it, I kept thinking to myself, where have I seen this before? You might have seen it and thought of Batman The Long Halloween or Batman Year 2, which a lot of people felt the same as well. Heck, some people believe this film was inspired by old classics like Batman Mask of the Phantasm because of its heavy parallels to the plot. But the Batman that I felt this movie was most inspired by is none other than the OG The Batman on Cartoon Network. Now, I'm not saying that all the other Batmans that exist didn't have an influential role in the making of this film. As I speak right now, some of the Batmans you see I felt gave the film its motivation in certain aspects. But as I noticed things like the lighting, the music, the characters, and so on, it's really hard for me to look at any other Batman that gave this film its true identity, which I will be talking about all those things in this video. But before I move any further, this video will contain a couple spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, I heavily recommend you check it out and come back to this video. For starters, without even watching the movie and cartoon series, someone like Stevie Wonder would be able to see that both are named, The Batman. On top of that, both medias use in the overall theme of their respective stories a whole lot of red. And I'm not talking about Playboy Cardi.
Watch out, watch out!
Now, Batman is synonymous with the color red. It's become the signature color palette in the series, ultimately to show how dangerous and cruel Gotham City can be at night. But it's hard to ignore how much both Batmans use the color, and at this point, it's hard to portray a dangerous and serious Batman without a strong emphasis on the color red. Now, with that being said, I'm sure there are some exceptions out there. One thing that always stuck with me watching CN's The Batman was the intro music. The use of guitar is used very well, and while it is catchy and you can bop your head to it, the show still takes itself very seriously. And who can forget the eerie with that one last guitar riff. While the cartoon series mainly uses guitar, the film uses piano, bell tolls, and violin to still portray an atmospheric and grounded Batman. Fun fact, the composer for The Batman also did scores for movies like Ratatouille and a couple of the Spider-Mans with Tom Holland, just to show you that they meant business when they were looking to make a Batman movie that sounded just how it looked. Now, with that being said, there are still differences between the two Batmans and Bruce Wayne's. Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne is very emo. I'm talking about a looking self. You can tell that he's troubled, still pretty angry, I'll say, and he hasn't fully come to terms with the death of his parents yet. While CN's Bruce Wayne is more so chill, charming in ways, still acts like the playboy we know and love. But as for Matt Reeves' Batman, the film makes it very clear that Batman is still in the beginning years of his Caped Crusade, year 2 to be exact. I mean, just look how ferocious this young Batman is.
Round 1. What are you supposed to be?
He needs some milk!
Wins. Heroic brutality.
But CN's Batman seems to be well in his years of crime fighting already. He doesn't seem to be as green as Robert Pattinson's, but both Batmen appear young and capable regardless of their difference in experience. Now, about the villains. CN's The Batman really did a good job in giving each villain a unique design and their signature features. While they appear cartoonish as they should, Matt Reeves' The Batman makes his villains appear as close to real life as possible with how they made the Penguin, and especially the Riddler. The Riddler in this movie is very believable with how he looks, acts, and sounds. Like, I could see someone in real life emulate him. And I want to say this Riddler is based off a real serial killer if you can't find any more inspiration there. I can't say the same about the Cartoon Network version of him.
You? Me?
You think this is funny?
In a cosmic sort of way, yes.
Well, Mr. Funny Man, is this how you get your sick kicks?
What? It's just an ordinary crabby... Oh my goodness! Squidward!
Gee, I didn't know Orochimaru and Ben 10 had a baby. Like, I don't know if I'm looking at the Riddler or the other mother from Coraline. Both Riddlers are vastly different in look, and while the Riddler in Matt Reeves' version is the center villain of the movie, the Riddler in CN's version has episodes dedicated to him that are scattered through the seasons. Both do differ appearance-wise, but they still have that cunning and clever intellect that makes them as similar as they are different. This Riddler is twisted by his look. This Riddler is twisted by his actions, but both still rely on their deadly riddles in order to challenge Batman and prove their intellectual superiority over him. Now, as for the Penguin and Catwoman, they're pretty standard in both adaptations. Their Penguin is still a mob boss, a bit cowardice when confronted, funny, and ultimately still fat and short. The only slight difference is that in CN's version, the Penguin is a bit more comical and cartoony, especially with his propeller umbrella that he uses. He's really shaped like a penguin, but that's to be expected from a cartoon. Surprisingly enough, the voice of CN's Penguin is the same voice of SpongeBob SquarePants and the Ice King. And the film's Penguin is played by Colin Farrell. I mean, they put a fat suit on him and everything, which made him look extremely unrecognizable. So in a way, both adaptations use someone you'd never expect to play the role of Gotham's royal crime boss. Both Catwomans are pretty standard from what I remember. Both are attractive, agile, sneaky. Both have neither good or bad motives, they're just in it for themselves, more so for the money. You know, in every Batman that involves Catwoman, they gotta do an angle where she's having to choose between her morals and how Batman fights some villain, or choose her selfish nature, get rich, and bounce. Or should I say, pounce. One of the major things in the movie was Riddler concocted a plan to flood all of Gotham in order to assassinate one of the running candidates in the Gotham election. In CN's version, instead of it being the Riddler, Killer Croc would be the one to flood Gotham with the intentions of stealing Gotham's most prized loot. I can't really speak on any of the other characters from both Batmans. Either a character is shown in one and not the other, or if both appear, their similarities are just too obvious to point out. But overall, I did enjoy the movie. I do like that they took a chance on Robert Pattinson as Batman, and yes, I do know they can't keep him emo forever. DC will eventually have to break him out of that phase and make him the charming, confident playboy we all know and love. But after watching the film, this only reinforces how much I used to love Cartoon Network and its rich collection of shows, and hopefully I can find more similarities between the two as the movie gets studied more. But definitely let me know what you thought of the movie. Did you enjoy it? Yes or no? And what other Batman references did you notice while watching the movie? Definitely let me know in the comments. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel and support. God bless you guys. I love you. Pray for Ukraine. I'll see you in the next video. And don't hate, motivate.